Maximus.
Lucas.
Lucas. Mine's not as fun to make up names with.
But, no, yours is not like an ancient Roman name.
No, I'm not a gladiator.
Has some real significance, but that's okay. Next time.
What's up?
How are you?
So good. Glad to be back.
Yeah.
And talking about practice.
Practice.
Not a game.
Not the game.
Practice. The game I would die for. Who said that?
Dude, AI, man.
AI said that, right?
Wow.
What a bridge into what we're talking about today.
Bridge.
I thought of that before this.
But impressive.
Pretty proud.
It really is impressive.
Hey,
they got a new commercial out for that. Did you see that?
The Sixers? Who?
No. I can't remember what it is, but there's a commercial that has Kevin Hart, Steph Curry, and AI.
Really?
Yeah. So AI
talking about practice.
It literally says that.
Who did it?
I don't know. I can't remember. But it's actually cool to see AI back.
Have you seen the Subway commercials with Steph and Charles and all them? They're pretty funny. Talking about the all-star lineups of subs.
I know this is way off topic, but it is so nice to have some really funny commercials back. I felt like we went through a few-year period, maybe through COVID or whatever, that there were no funny commercials.
Yeah.
And we're kind of back to that a little bit.
We are. But you could say that commercials won't be funny anymore because we're in the middle of a writer's strike. Did you know that?
I did not.
A writer's strike. I think there was one in the late 2000s.
Okay.
And basically what it is all these, I guess they're a part of a guild.
The guild.
The guild of writers. They all stand together.
That feels very medieval.
Yeah. They wear their chainmail and say, "We will not write until you pay
That's right.
us, sire." That's right. And so they're not writing anything. So like commercials is probably in that, but movies, TV.
Really?
SNL is canceled for the rest of the season, which is crazy.
Hey, should we step in?
That's what I think we should do.
Should we start writing commercials?
And
we're not part of the guild.
Commercials, I could put together some jingles.
Oh, no.
I could put together some jingles.
It'd be awesome.
But yeah, they're in a strike, and I guess they just want to get paid more. I really haven't read much on it.
It feels like a good reason to strike.
But it's a huge deal. They stopped filming Stranger Things 4.
Oh, really?
5? I don't know what season they're on.
So that thing's not going to come out for...
It'll seriously delay a lot of projects. So be ready, everybody. This is your warning. We're all going to have to start reading books and stuff, unfortunately.
Reading books and stuff.
Yeah, reality TV apparently will dominate because it's not scripted. Allegedly.
Oh, gosh.
Allegedly, it's not scripted, right? Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, I actually want us to step in tying all this into AI. The reason that AI has become so popular of a conversation today is the
AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
not
Allen Iverson.
Not the original AI.
Yeah. So artificial intelligence has become a conversation because of an application website.
Yeah.
Called Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Essentially, what it is you just type something into this. It kind of looks like a text.
Yeah.
And you type a question, a message into this.
Yeah. You've used it.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's a good thing. All you have to give them is your email and a password. So it's no social or anything.
That's
crazy.
Good.
So
that's good.
But you type in something and it'll spit something out. So I want us to give. I have asked Max to do a little bit of homework. I just wanted him to give a very vague plot, kind of a one-line plot, and we're gonna see if Chat GPT can bridge this writer's strike, and maybe it will write for Netflix.
Honestly, yeah.
Maybe Netflix just plays around with this, and then all the writers, they go on strike trying to get paid, and actually they're like, we don't need you anymore. We have Chat GPT.
Hey, guess what? Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Not a job for you anymore.
Do you want to come up with one together?
Sure.
Okay, let's brainstorm.
All
Who are our characters?
I mean, why would it not be just two average bankers, right?
Okay, so I'll type in 2 average bankers.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
I mean,
what happens?
I don't know. I'm really trying to think outside the box here. Maybe they start a podcast.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to type write a movie plot about two average bankers who start. How about have an average podcast?
Have an average podcast.
Have an average podcast.
But
does one of them?
But plot twist.
Yeah. What's the? Oh, you don't even want to specify the plot. Do you want do we
Yeah, we're like
find ourselves in the wrong circle?
Yeah, we're like maybe secret agents or
Okay.
we have these secret lives.
Okay. Who have secret lives.
Like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Okay, submitted.
Deal.
Let's see how long it takes. Okay, title: Double Lives of the Banker Podcasters.
Are you serious?
That'll never pass.
That's
So one of the things about this is it creative enough? And it's still writing, so it's spitting out.
oh my gosh.
It's a lot. It's still going.
Yeah, man. We don't need a.
Oh my gosh. This is wonderful content.
It would be kind of scary actually to be a writer right now.
We should have put our names in there, unless this is super broad.
Maximus and Lucas.
Yeah. Okay.
You can do it in King James version, right? I've heard that.
No way.
Yeah, I've heard it can read it back to you in a King James version because it will.
I didn't know that.
It will read it back to you, right? If you ask it to.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, should we do that?
Sure.
I don't know if I can figure that out. I think that you might have to upgrade to plus. But okay, the movie. Okay, Double Lives of the Banker Podcasters.
Okay.
The movie follows two average bankers, Jack and Emily. I'll be Jack.
Oh, thanks.
Who lead seemingly normal lives. By day, they work at a local bank, and by night, they host a podcast called Banking on the Future, where they discuss financial and money management tips for the average person. However, unbeknownst to their colleagues and podcast listeners, Jack and Emily have secret lives that are anything but average. One day, Jack and Emily receive an anonymous email threatening to expose their secrets unless they pay a hefty sum of money. Panicked, they realize that they must act quickly to protect their reputations and their careers. They soon discover that the blackmailer is a hacker who has uncovered their secret identities as skilled burglars who have been pulling off daring heists across the city. As they scramble to come up with the money to pay off the hacker, Jack and Emily must also figure out how to keep their secret lives hidden from their unsuspecting friends and coworkers. Along the way, they encounter a host of colorful characters, including a tough-as-nails detective who is hot on their trail, a wealthy, probably played by Tom Hanks,
Sure.
a wealthy socialite who hires them to steal a priceless piece of art,
Yeah.
and a former partner who has a score to settle. As the stakes get higher, the risks become greater. Jack and Emily must decide whether to continue their double lives or come clean and face the consequences. With their futures hanging in the balance, they must navigate the dangerous world of crime and finance.
Crime and finance.
They go together to find a way out of their predicament. In the end, here's the spoiler. This is just the pitch. In the end, Double Lives of the Banker Podcasters. That is a terrible title.
That is so
Chat
bad.
GPT, be better. Is a thrilling and action-packed ride that explores the complex nature of identity, ambition, and morality. It will keep audiences on the edge of their seats from start to finish. Wow. That would never sell.
No.
Okay,
Not at
writers,
all.
you win.
But
AI will not take your jobs. Not bad though. For just
I'm trying to like imagine playing that scene of all of a sudden you're a burglar. you
Yeah.
know? And meanwhile, Tom Hanks is
On
the trail.
Yeah, catch me if you
That's
can,
right.
Tom.
All right. Hey, if you had to have somebody play you as Jack. All right. Can I be a? We'll say Emily's a guy. I don't know why, but for
Okay.
this, if
Emil.
all right, if you had Emil.
I think I read it wrong. Yeah.
Emil. Okay. All right. If you had to have somebody play you, who would it be? Like in any movie, a movie about your life.
Yeah, probably like Travis Kelce.
A football player, non-actor, playing you.
Well, same build. Are we just going off of looks? Like, we're both
Sure.
6'7".
Yeah. I'm glad you're sitting
Shredded.
down. I'm glad you're sitting down on these podcasts. That way you don't show
I'm
your.
sitting crisscross applesauce for those watching.
Yeah,
My torso is that long.
that's right. You should be a swimmer.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it would be. All right, the two best. We need to be like Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey
That'd be
from
great.
True Detective.
I'll be Woody.
All right, I'll be McConaughey. All right, all right,
All right. All right.
all right.
All right.
Well, that's neat. That's really.
And
I
that's
mean,
kind of freaky,
It
though.
is kind of freaky.
I actually I was playing around with it. I had it write a letter from the Apostle Paul to the American church. Isn't that a cool one to do? And
It
let
is
me
cool.
tell you,
What did it?
it wasn't God inspired or anything,
Sure.
but he's pretty upset.
Paul.
Paul's pretty upset.
Paul's not happy with how it's
He's
going.
not happy, but he knows times are hard. So,
Yeah.
but that was a cool one.
Yeah, it was.
to do.
Yeah, that's neat.
But so yeah, that's Chat GPT, and you can
Yeah.
ask it a lot of things. And basically, what it's doing, I think, is using all of the internet to pull together thoughts. So they're not necessarily original thoughts.
Yeah.
But it is a giant summation of everything that's out there.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like what it does. I mean, it's probably just gathering all the intel, all the, all the different pools of thought out there and kind of deriving its own deal. But it also will personalize things for you too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not to sound crazy here, but I mean, it's learning you. It's learning your thoughts and things and thoughts. I don't know about your thoughts. It's learning. It's learning your habits. How about that? And the way you do things, because people are naturally habitual as well. But one of the interesting pieces that I know I want to talk about today is how is this going to affect both finance and banking. Because it's not new, right? AI is not new.
Right.
It has been, a part of our world here for probably the better part of the last anywhere from 3 to 5 years. But it kind of got a resurgence with Chat GPT.
Yeah.
And it's now, maybe being looked at in a different light, and it's being utilized differently with Chat GPT, which is, I mean, for lack of a better way to say it, it's almost Google without Googling anything.
Right. Instead
Right.
of pulling you towards a link,
Yeah.
it spits out an answer
Yeah.
from all of the links.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've got down a definition. It is the simulation of human intelligence through coded software.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that sounds real high level.
yeah.
But
We'll preface, we are not experts on AI.
no.
We're just curious about it.
Yeah, and just trying to honestly speculate what it's going to look like for the industry that we both work in as it moves forward. And so, one of the things that I know, I've listened to a few other podcasts. We've done a little bit of research on it. With Chat GPT will potentially, it could change the way that banking, operates from a branch structure. I mean, if you've got this personalized, gosh, I don't know what to call it. I feel like I want to call it Siri. But if you've got this personalized
Should we give it a name?
angle,
Should we give it a name?
sure.
How about Emily?
You're getting real original today.
Yeah. And that's what it can't replicate is
Yeah.
original thoughts like I just had.
That's right.
Really original.
That's right. Boy, you're locked into your job. You know that? You just are.
I prove myself
That's
every
right.
day.
But it can't, it will essentially help personalize things. And so it'd be interesting to see from a banking standpoint, what a branch structure looks like in the future. I think you're starting to see a lot of larger banks, reduce their branch size, reduce their physical locations, for various reasons. One, obviously, overhead is expensive. And then two, they've got so many different types of digital platforms that, there's not necessarily a need for a branch on every corner, or at least that's what they believe specifically. And so, I was reading an article here, and it says, one of the things it says is, this is by Forbes, it says, while banks keep scaling down their in-person branch locations, AI may actually help keep things personalized. Because that's one of the things I know I hear from folks is that, well, hey, if you're not going to have anybody available to me, how's this going to be a personal relationship?
Yeah.
How's this going to be relationship banking? And so this is just an interesting take. And the quote here from a senior managing partner and head of the modern finance sector of Launch Consulting Group.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Real important.
Mouthful.
Says, ironically, AI can help redefine and restore personalized experiences that could build trust for customers, for consumers, and small business owners. So, that's interesting just to kind of hear that from my perspective, is that it could really play a role in what the industry ends up looking like in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that we kind of forget is that AI is existing. I think I was reading this that said there's, weak AI and strong?
Yeah, 2 different types of AI.
2 different kinds of AI, where one is kind of you ask it something like your Siri or Alexa, and it'll answer you. Yeah. And then another is where it's kind of not thinking on its own. I don't want to scare people.
Yeah.
Have you seen Ex Machina?
No.
It's, low budget, but kind of crazy. It is what everybody think. When you think AI, you think robots.
Right.
You think we're done.
Terminator.
Right.
Yeah.
That is totally what that is. This is, I don't want to say that it's self-thinking, but it does more complex tasks than just answering a question.
Yeah.
And so when you think about, I don't know, the personalization part is kind of scary.
Yeah. I think there's positives and negatives to it, right? And so it's hard to, and that goes with a lot of things. And so it's hard to understand exactly what it could look like. I mean, we're just speculating here, right? And that, that I think some of the positives are that it could help, reduce risk. It could help, find patterns. One of the things that banks look for are patterns. If customers are operating a certain way and then they don't, right? That's normally an indication of potential fraud or something like that. And so I think it could really help identify that type of stuff and maybe help reduce risk. But then on the flip side, it takes away what feels like is the thinking power and the ability for us to have intuition. And, it doesn't have morality or any of that kind of stuff either.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting. But, one of the things that I heard that it used as well, or that it could be used for as well, is you could use Chat GPT or something like that if it, I'm sure something else will develop here, relatively soon.
Yeah.
Like that. But what it could do is essentially set up, personalized savings goals for you and help you walk along that process from a money, personal finance standpoint, and help you be able to, you set aside a goal or you want to save, $500 a month or something. Well, it gives you and helps read all the different bills that you have, and be able to maintain that, paying your expenses, taking the income, and then, being able to help set a savings goal or a savings plan for you that is adjustable. One of the things that's difficult today is it's easy to say I'm going to save $500 a month, but that's more of a hard and fast, type rule. And if you don't, then you've missed the mark. And I think one of the things with AI is it will adjust based off of, your electric bill is not going to be the same every month.
Yeah.
Right. It will be different depending on how much you use. And it can take in the average electricity used either over your last 12 months or maybe just average for your area and help put that in. So, almost to an exact amount what your bill's going to be that month.
Yeah.
And so that's really unique. And then from another perspective, one of the things it said is real estate investing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this was kind of crazy to me. But
as far as predicting the future of what things will be worth?
Well,
or?
a little bit. One of the things it's saying is that, or one of the things that I heard was that, it can help locate properties for real estate investing that have, and it can tell you what the rents may be for that location, which is not always hard to find, but it can give you like comparable rents for that specific location, that specific area. It can tell you, based off of expenses around that area, how much you're gonna be out about every month, so you can help deduct those from the income that you make. And it can basically help identify one or two spots that you should that would obviously make a decent return for you, it gets even further into the weeds. Like, one of the things that's very unpredictable is maintenance, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to know if you're going to have to come in and replace an HVAC system or anything like that. Well, what it can do is tell you, based off the age of that property, how if it has potential for you needing to replace the plumbing system or replacing the HVAC, how much that would cost based off of an average of all the plumbers in the area.
Wow.
Or all of the HVAC systems in the area. So it's
Yeah.
taking all of that data, bringing it in, showing you an average so that you will almost have, you could get on Chat GPT or something and say, hey, what is the best address or best location for me to invest in based off of rents and expenses and all those types of things. And it will spit it out and you'll have it almost instantly.
Goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
I feel like that is there. I have a lot of thoughts on everything you just said.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are pros and cons.
Sure.
Some of the cons are on your budget piece,
Yeah.
privacy. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
if you're going to have, some sort of software monitoring all of your expenses, all of your spending habits, and you want to set goals, that's a huge, not invasion of privacy. I mean,
Yeah.
but there will have to be some sort of agreement between you and Emily to say, hey,
Emily, the
this
AI
is something
robot.
this is something we're signing up for. So there's
Yeah.
privacy. Two, that's somebody's job is to
Yeah.
help people budget.
Yeah.
And so one of the huge cons of artificial intelligence and think about technology in general. I mean,
Yeah.
technology makes, what is the definition of technology? Do you know?
I do not.
Technology, this is
the official definition?
no,
The Webster's?
it is basically a tool or practice that makes something easier to do.
Okay.
And so over time, we've seen technology make things way easier to do.
Sure.
And that has caused jobs to decrease in that specific field.
Yeah.
Take the printing press.
The printing
Okay.
press.
All those scribes were
The
like,
Gutenberg.
oh no. The people who were writing books all day.
We are really ragging on writers today.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
I know. The
yeah.
Guild's taking one.
Yeah.
It's taking one on the chin today.
Yeah. Or the typewriter. When the first computer came out, they're like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. But the owner of the typewriter company is like, crap.
Yeah.
So technology makes things easier,
Yes.
but it does, shake up a ton of industries.
Yeah.
So, that's one of the cons is who has to start looking around and saying, will my
Right.
job last? And then you were talking about, ways that we can interact with AI to kind of, like, I know you can take loan applications online
Yeah.
at some banks.
Yeah.
And you just answer a couple questions.
Yeah.
So as a bank, you have to decide, do I trust this system to get, uncover all of the details?
Right.
Because, you've booked hundreds of loans
Yeah.
and you have to ask hundreds of questions on
Right.
each loan. And so do we trust a system to be able to uncover all of the details?
Yeah. From a credit standpoint, how accurate is it?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, like you said, that's going to be a challenge.
Some people would say that AI would have fewer errors. Some people would say that humans would have fewer errors.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just up to whatever system you trust more, and
Yeah.
it'll obviously progress to become smarter and smarter. But
That's right. Until it finally takes over.
Till it takes over.
That's right.
2045.
Okay, you're setting a date.
Yep.
That feels bold.
Live it up till then, everybody.
Okay. But, I mean, the reality, though, is that it's available. It will continue to be available. And we will continually innovate. So whether it's Chat GPT or something else like that, I mean, the reality is that innovation will take place. It has, right? Technology has continued to advance throughout history. And so, from a job loss perspective, that's a scary thing to have that discussion. And I know that there have been several people, including Elon Musk, that's come out and said, hey, maybe this thing is not really ready for public consumption. Or maybe we need to kind of slow down and see where this thing is at. So, I mean, there's a lot of real challenges out there, a lot of real worries from people. And I think that there's consequences to every action, right? So it'll be interesting to see what it continues to develop as, because new industries will ultimately be created as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not one of those things that comes with a just an all out, you cut everything and then there's no job creation left. Like, new technology typically and creates new industries as well that continue bringing new jobs on. So I don't know. There's a lot to discuss with it for sure. So.
Yeah. And it will. I mean, think about you talk about the real estate AI. Like when you talk about that, I'm like, that's brilliant. But I don't have a name. I don't have a brand name that pops into my head like, oh, that's Airbnb or whatever.
Yeah.
So there are tons of industries that will use AI, and whoever gets there first and perfects it first is going to make a lot of money.
They are going to make a lot of money.
So we'll see who jumps on. I mean, that's just one industry that can be helped out by it.
Yeah.
But they will continue to craft these algorithms and figure it out. One of the cons as well is that it lacks creativity, which we kind of joked about with the movie plot, but it does pull information from previous. I mean, it can only think about the past.
Right.
I think.
Well, I think, one of the things.
Is good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going. I don't think it can predict the future.
I've tried.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's going to win the game tonight? It's like, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
We can ask it some more questions later.
Yeah, we will. We'll have to dive in a little bit more. But what it does do, and I mean, and one of the only things that we can do, and one of the things that's will be helpful in the finance industry is, specific for us, we have a lot of interest rate prediction that goes into what we do, right? It matters a lot where interest rates are. A lot today high, but it matters for the banking industry specifically where interest rates are, and so I think it will be interesting to see if it can help us make decisions based off of historic patterns or things like that. That it's able to do a better job of pooling information together, allowing it to be in a concise verbiage, and allowing you to maybe use that information to make decisions.
Yeah,
because one of the things that's difficult now is being able to pool all that information together with a common denominator, right?
Yeah.
And I think maybe it can help us, help the finance industry specifically help make some decisions. It's going to be interesting from an investor standpoint, from an investing standpoint. How does it affect investing? Again, it can't predict the future, and it's not going to tell you, what is going to be valuable at a next date, if you're going to make a solid return or anything like that. But it could potentially tell you what a value stock is today.
Yeah.
And instead of a bunch of folks going out and try to decipher what that is, it may just be
hey, more jobs gone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So
We'll see what
it's really
happens.
interesting. So
I think, who said history repeats itself? Caesar?
I don't know. Some guy probably repeated himself.
Yeah, he said it over and over and said, told you.
Yeah. History repeats itself. Told you.
Yeah. But that is true. I mean, if it's only pulling from things that have already happened, I think won't be too far off if you really believe that history repeats itself.
Well,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, it can be used for, I mean, this is a Forbes article that says we use AI in all our investment kits to analyze, predict, rebalance. all that.
So it's being used currently, but as it continues to develop, what will that look like, I guess?
Yeah. And the word that people are okay with, I think, if we could just start calling it an algorithm instead of AI. When people hear AI, they're like, we're done.
Yeah.
When you hear algorithm, it's like, oh, it's just a math equation. Right. It's not that bad.
That's
it's just
right.
numbers.
It's just numbers.
So our algorithm makes predictions each week, then automatically rebalances the portfolio on what it believes to be the best mix of risk and return based on a huge amount of historical data.
Yeah.
So yeah, algorithms are safe. AI is not
Safe. Math is safe.
Yeah,
You know,
math is a wonderful thing.
One of the other interesting things that that you'll have to think about, or that people will have to think about, is like, where does liability lie when it's wrong?
Yeah. Because do you know who started Chat GPT?
No,
Me either.
That's his company, but I can't remember.
It's probably private.
Probably, but I mean, where does liability lie? And that would be one of the scary things, I think, if you were to really go all in on it. Is, in my opinion, people would have a softer spot for a person trying to be helpful, and not necessarily being. And then it doesn't necessarily go 100% how they had hoped that it went, right?
Yeah.
If you tell me something and you give me information and then I utilize it and it doesn't necessarily work out, I'm probably going to be a little upset that it didn't work out, but I could probably have a little bit softer side because we have a relationship, we know each other, you've probably been right more than you're wrong, or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, there's no relationship with AI. And if let's say you use it and it's wrong, that's going to be tough for folks to come to grips with, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. People like to get upset at people, right? We were talking about that earlier.
Yes.
And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens from a liability standpoint there.
Yeah. I've got two, since we're sharing opinions now.
Oh.
One is people, one of the things that it was in this article as a con was the moral ethics of AI.
Yeah.
You could almost argue that AI is not just, but maybe that it's completely unbiased and just tells facts when people are not perfect.
Yeah.
People have certain biases, which are obviously wrong, but maybe AI could be a place that is morally sound, or it could be totally wrong. I don't know, but it does. I mean, its job is just to spit out facts,
right.
And so that kind of takes out the human element of
the
bad human element of being bad. And then my second thought is the danger of humans not being able to have their own thoughts. You think about like a doctor who goes to school for 12 years. Well, you type into Chat GPT, red whelps on arm medicine.
Yeah.
And then boom, it'll spit something out. And so you start thinking about what is the value of schooling if everything's at our fingertips, which is really scary.
Yeah.
Really scary. And so
a lot to unpack with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I know. But that's a little deeper level. That's just something to monitor. That maybe is the ultimate danger. Is what are we doing to our brains that are these? What's the stat about how much percentage of your brain power you use a day?
Yeah,
it's so small.
It is small.
I don't know how they came up with that.
I feel like it's around 20% or 30%.
How do you come up with that?
I don't know.
Because you know who
has
said
anyone
it?
utilized?
Your brain said that.
That's right.
Maybe our brains have egos.
We have bias. We have biased brains.
Our brains, I think they're smarter than they are. But your brain is a wonderful thing, and it.
Yes.
Everybody listening, your brain is awesome.
Yes.
And use it and grow it and learn. Don't rely on things to just be told to you or created for you. I know that's a big thing. A bunch of parents of kids in school are like, my kid's just going to use Chat GPT to write all their essays.
Yeah.
So
Man, can you think about it? We went from doing math equations like on a piece of paper to calculators to now you just say it into your phone.
I know. I think we'll
That's
look
kinda
back.
crazy.
Have we like you think about like I don't know, what were like the past like eras of like not tech booms, but like every 10 years has like a name. I feel like 2010, I don't know, just like the last 10 to 15 years we will look back and say like this is where technology just grew at an exponential rate. I don't know what they'll call it. Are they calling this the tech boom already?
I'm sure they probably are, yeah.
I don't know who they are. AI, maybe. Maybe we should ask, what is this era called?
Yeah.
But anyways, like we said, we're not experts on this at all. We just think it's interesting.
It is interesting. It is interesting, and to see how it plays out in our industry will be even more interesting. I think, like you said, positives, negatives, but it's probably coming. And so, how do we either adapt or how do we maybe take the good about it and capitalize on that. So it'd be interesting. I enjoyed talking to you about it.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you need to get off your chest and ask Chat GPT?
Why is
I believe the data is only through 2021.
okay? Yeah.
So
I've been pondering this for a while. So
Okay.
why are you the way you are?
Are you asking AI or are you asking me?
Well, I'm hoping that I
Why
get an answer
are
from
you
both.
Okay. It's taking a long time. It doesn't know.
Does it not know?
Or I just have bad signal. I think you really stumped it.
Man. Let it be known that Chat GPT can be stumped.
Let's ask again. Why are you the way you are? As an AI language model, I am designed and trained to operate in a specific way. Okay, it's too long.
All right.
In short, I am the way I am because of the programming, algorithms, and training data that have shaped me into the AI language model that I am.
Just profound answer.
Real enlightening,
That's
Emily.
right. Thanks.